Hello everyone, and welcome to Charlie Foxtrot, the War Room. With me, I have the commanders of all the regiments, Peachy Late,
Hi!
OMG Vandi, Brad Loto, McLoken, and Metamancer.
I'm not with the rest of these people.
It's fine.
Disowned.
Understandable.
And this is going to be a small supplementary video to the main Charlie Foxtrot campaign. We're going to plan out the campaign. All of the commanders of the regiments are going to have their say in how the war goes, and it's going to affect everyone who plays in the campaign. And it's probably going to be the reason things are going to go terribly.
Like a little suppository.
Yes.
Just like all of our parents.
All of this is going to be edited out.
Very
There's a
possibly.
reason we weren't chosen for the main campaign.
Hey, I invited all of you to the main campaign, so...
Yeah, and then when we said yes, you were like, well, actually, no.
Let me just rewrite this.
I need you all in editable format, so...
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So,
Complete sense.
the basic setting that we're going to come in on is on the ship of the Lord Commander Nihilium, which is called the Steel Faith, serial number P008-UNN.
Alright.
Yes.
That's like a great serial number.
It's a brilliant serial number. Commander Nihilium is currently poring over his strategic map of the Hive World Gorlock, which has in the last couple of months been invaded and infested by orcs. The 5 regiments have been put under his command, and he is supposed to lead them in an invasion and reclamation of the world. He's a much older gentleman, kind of handlebar mustache, his hair's greyed, he's got lots of wrinkles. He has been the veteran of many campaigns, but only against local insurrection. So he's had a lot of experience against human Imperial rebels, I guess. But he's never faced off against any Xenos, never faced off against orcs, and he's a little bit out of his depth. So all of the commanders have been called to the meeting. He needs their input, and I think the first person to walk in is definitely going to be Commander Rourke Aegis. Commander Rourke Aegis is a middle-aged looking lady. Not very large, but very stout, very kind of muscly. On her back, she has a large double-handed chainsword with the words immovable engraved upon them. And slung at her waist is a grenade launcher. She's dressed in the traditional army, in the traditional uniform of her regiment, which is the Atlas Sisyphean Guard. Very heavily plated, very sturdy. And yeah. You are welcomed in by the Lord General, who looks a little bit distracted. There's multiple places around the table, so if you just want to go in and sit down.
I will sit right beside, or right near where the commander is.
Okay. Next in will be Commander Hugo Dundi of the Imperial Guard. He is probably fairly thin and tall. He's dressed in the traditional dress uniform no less, of the Imperial Guard, which is majority white with some gold frogging, some tassels, that kind of thing. He has a power saber on his belt along with a bolt pistol.
Is the war room?
Yes, take a seat.
I'm gonna sit directly opposite from Commander Aegis.
So you've got kind of Nihilium at the head of the table. He looks up when you guys enter, but he's very obviously still distracted, still trying to figure out a battle plan. Next in is Commander Guy Smith of the Imperial Line Regiment, number 281-5186.
I feel like I'm already there. They just didn't notice.
You know what? Yeah, that's very true.
Just sat there like in the furthest corner of the table.
I think actually,
Or in the corner.
Commander Dundi sits on you.
Yeah.
There's someone already there.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yes.
this is the war room, isn't it?
Yes, if you don't mind, and I'm gonna push him off of me.
This is for commanders.
Yes.
Are you sure you work here?
What?
You,
I'm
you're
Commander
your
Guy
boss,
Smith.
or-
Thank you very much.
Who?
Matter who.
I'm still trying to get him off of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the scene.
Guy, Commander Guy Smith of the Imperial Line Regiment.
Guy Smith. Guy Smith.
Could you sit there?
Never met him before.
I also look like this happens a lot.
Mm.
People just sit on me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't seem to be like everyone else would be really offended by it, but I'm not. It's
Well-
almost like trying to sit him on another chair next to me.
There have been instances in your own regiment of your troops accusing you of being an intruder. Like,
Oh, yeah, but they don't know I'm.
they don't know you're their commander.
Yeah, I know. I know what's happening here.
Commander Guy Smith has a commander baton, which is basically a big, almost looks like a mace, but it's more of almost like a walking stick in a certain way. It's electrified and has a big skull at the top of it.
Oh, I should have shoved that up. What's his face? Is Dundee's butt.
Next in is Commander Harkon Iron Broadside of the Naboom Banshee Regiment.
I would like to say that there is like a loud noise that everyone looks at, and then they turn back and he's already sitting down.
Okay. Yeah.
What's that?
Oh dear.
And what you see here is a very metallic man in, do you think Harkon would wear the kind of battle uniform of your regiment or the dress uniform?
Oh no, he's ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, so he's
Yeah,
he's in like a tank top, green. He's got like camo on his face and well, on one side of his face. On the right side of his face, it's all replaced by metal. The eye is bionic. There's no ear. There's just like a big kind of steel plate kind of melded on there. His left leg and his right arm are also bionic. And he has a fairly quiet, calm demeanor to him.
Broadside. Good to see you.
when are we leaving?
As soon as we have a plan.
We just got here.
Hopefully.
Is there tea?
There's no tea.
I'm gonna look for tea while I'm sitting there.
There are a couple of...
Look at Guy Smith and be like, hey, can you go get some tea? You work here, right?
No, I
You know
don't.
he's one of the commanders. You know that, right?
Yes. I'm a commander of the Imperial Guard.
What's your name?
You new?
Guy Smith, no.
Guy's mouth.
Right, Guy
Broadside, have I met him before?
Guy Smith, 2 words. It's 2 words. G-U-Y, and then space, S-M-I-T-H.
He's been at every meeting.
I've met you all several times.
I would have remembered.
Mm-mm. No.
Finally...
I sit there as they forget me again.
Yeah. I imagine if the like conversation dies down at any point, you'd like fade from their minds, and the next time you speak, it actually kind of scares them because they forget you're there.
that Doctor Who monster where they look away and they forget that they
that
ever
thing.
existed.
Oh yeah.
And then finally, the doors slide open, and we are presented with Commander Felicitas Kafelnikov of the Breath of the Empire Regiment.
Hello, everybody.
I put on my respirator around her.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if I have one, but I'm going to lean back.
Yeah, you have all met each other before, at least a few times. Commander Kafelnikov is from the Breath of the Emperor Regiment, and they don't mix with any of the other regiments ever. They are from a strange planet that even the air is infused with drugs and hallucinogens, and Commander Kafelnikov has pure white hair, pure white eyes, black veins coming over every visible part of her body. And you will have experienced by now, if you are close to her for a certain amount of time, you start to feel drugged and dozy and high. And the one thing I can tell you about her and her regiment is that they all worship her, almost to the point of heresy.
I get out a pure white handkerchief, freshly pressed.
Commander?
Nice to see.
Kafelnikov,
Hmm.
you gonna sit at the end of the table this time?
It's a good idea.
Oh, I would take offense to that, but there's no need. That's fine.
But where are you sitting?
She stands.
Okay. You can probably catch a slight whiff of, like, pungent, sweet something. It's almost like a perfume. And, you know, that's her.
Why do you
you-
guys
you-
not have respirators?
Got a spare?
No.
Ruined my dress uniform. There's no tassels.
Normally we don't breathe around.
Do you work here? Could you turn on the air conditioning?
No, I don't work here.
Wait, so why are you here again?
I'm a commander. The Imperial Guard.
I would have remembered.
Commander Guy Smith.
Okay. no.
Guy's mouth.
Hmm.
Don't ring a bell.
Well, yes, I'm sure you would have heard of me. Imperial Line Regiment 2815186.
Oh, I know the line regiment, but I didn't think you...
5186, yes.
Yes, I'm the commander of that. Never lost an engagement.
No, it was that fellow with the hair.
I've got hair.
Hmm.
At this point, Lord Commander Nihilium looks up from his strategy map, and I think we'll have our first roll. If anyone would like to assess his battle strategy on the map, you
Sitting
all,
right next to him, I would be like
yeah.
peering over.
You all have Common Law War and Scholastic Law Tactica Imperialis. You are welcome to use either of these. Tactica Imperialis will be a bit more detailed.
Well, let's do Tactica.
I'm gonna do just straight war.
Yeah.
Any pluses? No. All right. Let's
You
do it.
you guys are skilled out.
I don't know what's going on.
So
Did you just go all chorusy?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
it's the mask, I assume.
I know. So this
Oh,
is my normal
right.
voice, and then this is my voice through the respirator because
Okay.
I have a mixer.
Can we all talk 3 times as loud?
Yeah.
I'm a roll war ahead.
Okay.
What's the difference between them?
Tactica Imperialis will give you more like detailed tactics. War is like a bit more simple.
Do we have fate to spend?
Tactica Imperialis it is.
You do not.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah. So I
So-
will say, Dundi, this looks like a good plan. It's like a solid charge, show Johnny Orc exactly how you deal with them. For Rourke Aegis, with minus 1.5, I'm going to say you're a little bit iffy about it, but it does utilize a choke point, which you always enjoy. Like, anywhere that's defendable is good.
Okay.
For Harkon, I will say you don't see anything wrong with it, but it's not what you would do. Guy Smith, you can tell that this plan is basically flawed. Not that anyone will listen to you.
I say no one hears.
Yeah. And Commander Kafelnikov, this plan sucks. It's going to get loads of people killed. There is no point in landing 5 regiments on a small peninsula and then pushing through like that.
Oh, what a wonderful plan.
This is terrible. Ugh. Please. Let's come up with something better.
Well, I mean, this was planned out by myself and by my aides.
No, you're wrong.
I do see.
Look, over here. 5, really? Why?
Well, it's a concentrated strike. We'll hit them where they're weak, and we'll establish a
And
beachhead.
expose ourselves to be hit all at the same time. Yes, a fabulous idea.
I don't think you're utilizing me correctly. I shouldn't be with everyone.
And defend it on 3 sides. Got a nice picture of the landing site.
Might be a little bit cramped, but it should be fine.
Listen, I do like the use of a good choke point, but I don't know. What does Perfuma have to say?
Oh, like I said, it's not a good plan. We should definitely find an alternative method. Perhaps split up the groups. I know what I'm good at.
Good at bashing skulls.
Well,
So,
my plan did utilize the Breath of the Emperor Regiment quite heavily in the initial engagement. But there's no reason we can't fine-tune the plan. You all have the map in front of you. You can decide where you think you'd be best utilized.
there's 3 armies, is there not?
Of orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are 3 main concentrations of the enemy. Yes.
So put my regiment where they're most active. I'm gonna bash some skulls in. I need to do it, right on the front lines. So,
Sound not a little foolish dropping directly in on them.
please. Have you seen my regiment?
Yes,
So you know how well we do.
but it's still orcs.
So a little bit of backstory for everyone, and you would know this by now. Commander Aegis's regiment is from a fortress world that is biannually invaded by orcs. They have a little kind of crater that's heavily fortified where they let the orcs land for a fight every couple of years. So of all of you,
I probably wouldn't have said that then.
yeah, absolutely. I'm just giving you like a little bit of extra.
I would still object though.
This isn't. You'll be landing out in the open. It wouldn't be a fortified position.
So let's make a fortified position. Do we have one? Where can we go? I don't think this landing site alpha is gonna be the best call. Though, if we can funnel them in somewhere.
I mean,
What
you
have
could turn that hive network into a fortress of some sort.
The Gorlock one?
Yeah.
At this point, a kind of petty officer steps forward, salutes you all, shies a little bit further away from Commander Kafelnikov, and says, Petty Officer Lonnie, I have some additional info that has been forwarded to us. So, Hive Crater...
Get to it, Lonnie. Come on.
So, of course. Sorry, Mum. Hive Crater, as you see in the bottom left of the map, is just a general hive, nothing special about it as far as we know. We have minimal information of it. The Gorlock Hive network is currently free of the Orc infestation. It is holding out decently, but has abandoned all of the other hives. Hive Latate is a agricultural hub. It basically supplies food to the entire planet. Hive Bastern and Hive Bastort are thought to be mostly lost and surrounded. Last communication we had implied that Hive Bastern was trying to get through the Orc army in the area to save Bastort.
Do any of the hives have any planetary defenses?
They did. Not anymore.
All lost.
There were some around Hive Crater and Hive Bastort. We think possibly the Orcs targeted them on purpose, but that may be giving them too much credit.
They do seem to find their way into the correct targets. Perhaps we should consider those hives lost.
Is there any other information, Lonnie?
Well, the hive network is well defended and well supplied. The 4 hives on the outside form kind of a perimeter. They've erected walls around it so that it can be easily defended. It has a prison. There are factories which produce weapons and ammunition in there. Yeah, it's by all means, tactically, it's the most important area. However, the governor has expressed his worry at Imperial regiments landing on them.
Why?
The world was recently reintegrated into the Imperium. A few decades back. They're still a little bit iffy about the Imperial Guard and the regiments in general.
They're not fully loyal.
We think they are. They've shown no overt suspicion.
Well, their planet's invaded by orcs, so...
Yes.
We're gonna have to learn quick.
But you
True.
know, they prefer us landing on them or the orcs.
Well, as I said, currently they are free of infestation in those hives. They're managing to hold them off.
What's the current status of Hive Bastort?
Hive Bastort was hit by a orc asteroid, and currently seems to be destroyed as far as we can tell. From the images we got, it is just a giant asteroid on a smoking crater of a former hive.
Feels like home.
What's the speciality of Bastort?
We're not sure. We haven't received that information yet.
Right.
It didn't seem
Get on it.
important. Yes, of course, sorry. And he scuttles away. And Commander Nihilium looks up and says, well, I think the most important thing to decide is where we are landing, where we are setting up a beachhead, and what our main objectives should be. We have, for a limited time, ships from the Imperial Navy to supply us, but they won't last forever. We are going to have to supply ourselves with replacement equipment and supplies as the war goes on.
If we land at the Hive network, we're surrounded on all sides, with Hive Bastine just being right there as one block it between the rightmost group.
Well, I have a suggestion. I'll send my regiment to hide the store.
The Stort is lost. You heard it?
That's where my people strive best.
What do you hope to gain from there?
If anyone helps Hive Bastine, that we can flank that one group, and basically preventing any of the war bands linking together and making it much worse.
Finally, somebody agrees with me, I say. This entire time, I've been pushing figurines around the table at the other end with that little stick that they do on war tables, planning assaults, preparing, reacting to what everyone has been saying, but no one has heard me or recognized it.
Yeah. there is a semi... Well, no, not semi. There is a good battle plan currently on the map that none of you noticed being set up.
I've been putting it together.
Yeah.
Pushing the little figurines and shit around with that little stick they have on war tables all the time.
Are you suggesting a pincer attack on Bastort and Bastern?
Yes, of course, yes. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to land at the landing site Alpha. Obviously, if we land in the Hive network, well, not only we're going to piss off the locals, but we're going to end up being trapped. We're going to be surrounded on all sides. They'll just enclose on us and overrun us really quickly. If we can take out the right-hand flank, then we can move across. Take out the center, then we can move in on the Hive network, push out and finish out on the left. Bob's your
Right, so
uncle.
what should we do?
Also, I should make sure you're all perfectly aware. There are worries that once we have cleared out the orcs of this planet, the planet, the governor, could rise up in rebellion against us if we are not strong enough.
Absolutely not.
Well, even when we've removed the orcs, they'll still be back.
I'll assassinate him.
Nobody's stronger than the Imperial Guard. Just re-establish control.
Or we can just hold him ransom, as his planet will be trying to kill him for the rest of his days.
Kafelnikov. You're quiet?
Yes, I'm always quiet. Until I'm not.
Yes, well, now would be the time to chime in.
Flaws. Now you can fix it.
Yes, so what do we do now that if we defeat all the orcs and then this pisshead wants to go ahead and rise up against us after we've helped them? You could deal with that, couldn't you?
We could just kill him.
Or whatever your... Yeah, okay. Kill him, drug him, whatever.
Yes, that's true.
The petty officer comes back with a slate, data slate, and he's like, come on, Commander Aegis, I found
Spit it
the...
out.
Yes, sorry. I found the details on the hives that...
Spit
that
it out.
Yes, sorry. Sorry. So, which hive did you want to know about?
Bastort.
Bastort.
Bonnie Bastort.
Sorry, yes. Bastort. No full intelligence on Bastort.
We don't need any.
That's literally what you told me before
Oh.
you went to go find information on it.
Well, I'm sorry.
We're sending in Broadside, aren't we? Do you need any information?
No.
No. Simple as that. Who's the defensive tactician here, out of the rest of you?
Me.
Right. You and I will land in Bastern. I'm going to point at Peachy.
Why?
What are you doing?
Why am I landing? Why can't I just go alone? Aren't you a cadet or something?
No.
Well, if the push by Broadside were to push the orcs towards the main hive network...
Well, we'll need to establish a defensive network at Bastern. That way we can make sure that we aren't pincered in by the forces behind us on the left and right.
I do
Both sides will
suggest
push in.
that even if Gorlock Hive is still resistant against us, it's still a good fortified point, being that network of...
We'll send in Kafelnikov to prime us. She can deal with that governor straight away. Nip it in the bud. Establish a nice strong outpost.
We don't have the forces to fight the planet and the orcs at the same time.
Yes, just land. Say that you're there to befriend them.
Why don't we just use them? Use their forces. That's what we're doing. We're taking control of whatever resources they have. Is that right?
If we just take out the governor.
We're not taking out the governor before the orcs are done. That's just going to cause more
We
issues.
don't need to take him out. Don't be ridiculous.
He's not fully loyal to us.
He doesn't have to be loyal to anybody but me.
So long as he's not loyal to the orcs, that's all I care about. I don't want to have to defend Primus and Bastern or Bastine, whatever it is.
Bastern.
before-
Sorry.
Everyone just turns and looks at
Sorry. Sorry. I have the list of hives and their main use on the planet. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, go on.
Oh, okay. So Bastort, not much known, destroyed, big crater. Bastern is munition production, and it seconds as a warehouse for ammunition. Some guns. Gorlok Prime holds half the world's population. It is a very large spire of the majority of the population. Gorlok Secundus.
50% of them at best.
Yes.
There will have to be some purging.
Okay, we're not doing this now, Dundee, okay?
I'm just saying that it's not most of the population there. 50% at best are viable.
The other hives that make up the Gorlok hive network, Gorlok Secundus is production. They have apparently, according to reports, switched it to mostly weapons and tanks and fighters. So they're churning those out now to deal with the orcs.
Frontline? Or just ranged?
Ranged.
Where's the front line being produced? Or trained?
Oh, well, they're currently drawing from Gorlok Quintus, which is a prison. It's where they house all of their criminals. So they're arming them and sending them out.
Criminals as an army?
I can work with it.
Gorlok Tertius. Yeah, Gorlok Tertius is a storage. It's the hub for where everything is sent. So food, weapons, ammunition. That's where it's all stored. And Gorlok Quartus is administratum, scholars, scribes, that kind of thing. Communications, planet-wide communications are there. Yes. Hive Latate is food, lots of farms, not very defensible, but good if we want to feed our regiments in a prolonged war. And there's Hive Crater we have no information about. It was actually behind a security lock.
Find out who has access to that information and get it.
Hi, Commander. And Lonnie runs off again.
I would like to land at the farm hive.
There's no defensible position there. Dundee.
Yes, but probably one of the most important after Bastern, where all the ammo is.
Well,
And-
wouldn't it be better to take a... I'm just in the background saying stuff on.
Yeah, yeah.
No one
keep
can
cutting him off and stuff.
So if we deal with Bastern and Bastort, you know,
If you can take out the
Broadside.
eastern...
Well, Broadside and I can take on Bastern and Bastort. He goes to Bastort, I go to Bastern. We take out that army and we move towards the Hive network.
If you
And
move
maybe
northwest,
up north. Yes.
So kind of like a hammer on an anvil.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying the entire time.
Who are you?
Sorry, who are you?
Who are you?
You all seem to be going over my plan that I made almost immediately.
Well, that was here before you got here.
No, I had to pull most of these. You'll see that they're all my figurines that I've been pulling out. They're all like Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they painted?
Yes.
Well, that's the rules. They have to be painted.
I'm just going
Did
to
you paint them?
roll
Yes.
for Nick.
Did you just turn up?
A very long journey here.
Where did you come from?
Okay.
Under
Well, just despite who you are, it's fine. We can. I mean, this plan is good.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why you're taking credit for this.
What about if we do the hammer and anvil plan of Hive Bastort and Hive Baston? I don't think you should go into Bastort. There's nothing useful there, and it's completely destroyed anyway.
It's a tactical advantage from the
They
east,
won't be
the
facing it.
west. With crush, they won't
They'll
be
be
able
ignoring it. Isn't that
to.
not?
If you don't have the hammer to the anvil, well then they'll move east and join that other group in the west, won't they?
Will they?
This planet is a.
If it is a
Sphere,
smoking wreckage, then it would hide the landing party. To
I
some
mean,
degree.
the orcs aren't that organized, are they? They're just savage brutes who.
They're going to be running away.
Depends. Do they have a war boss?
Whichever one they run away from.
We don't have that information yet.
Aegis, you know about orcs. What do you think?
I think a pincer move is good. Well, we can cut them off and slaughter that regiment, and then move on.
What about their strength?
Uh,
They split
They're
up.
strong. They're dumb, but they're strong.
Commander Aegis, you actually have something that no one else has, which is if you look at your
The Eviscerator.
forbidden.
Buoy
Well,
bomb.
you do have the. You have Forbidden Law Orcs and Forbidden Law Xenos.
Fucking, I have orc warfare too.
You do also have Orc Warfare, so you can use any of those if you'd like me to kind of, inform you a
Or the
little bit.
tactics.
Yeah, I'm gonna do orc warfare then.
Okay.
Woohoo! That's pretty good.
That is 4.4 degrees of success. So yes, you know a lot about how they fight. You've experienced orc assaults and orc warfare with and without proper commanders on the orc side. And you know that either way they fight the same, but their tactics are massively different. If there are orc commanders, orc war bosses on the planet, they will be sneaky, they will be organized, they will be much, much more dangerous. Your tactic of the hammer and anvil is very legitimate. It doesn't mean that they're going to allow you to do it. So it's possible that the other armies will move in accordance with. So, like, it's a really good plan to deal with one of the armies. You're going to have to distract at least the army in the north.
Alright.
And
okay, sorry, go ahead.
just for everyone, if you'd like to give me another common law war or scholastic law tactica imperialis, there is going along with your hammer and anvil idea. There is a semi-decent plan here.
Don't touch that board there. That's important. That we
I got
commanders are trying to do a
3.7.
plan there.
Yeah, no, I was just
Yep.
saying that this has precisely been my plan all along.
Yeah, well, don't touch them.
Well, that's why I wanted to put the defensive position
these are
of
for the
Bastard.
commanders.
And then that way, if the northern army does come down, we would be
What?
prepared for it with the defenses.
If any other of you would like to roll, please go ahead.
that doesn't include me, so.
Yeah, you can roll a Tactica Imperialis or War. I will say for Harkon, you would have to divert part of your force. If there are orcs in Hive Bastort, you either have to divert part of your forces to deal with that, or take it over first, which would delay the hammer and anvil plan. For you, Commander Aegis, you think a good plan would be to land close to Hive Latate with at least a couple of other regiments and work the way south to link up with your defensive line. So effectively, you could kind of like get the food from Latate and start kind of like working your way down to link up.
Okay.
It's a little bit risky. If the orcs manage to stop the link up, then you're kind of gonna be a bit isolated from each other. But
all right. I still think we do the pincer move at Hive, Bastern, bleh. Bastern and Bastort. We do the Bastern and Bastort pincer move, hammer and anvil, and then we have someone land at Hive Latate and move down with the food to link up with Bastern. And that way, once we should be able to be done with the army in the south, and we'll be distracting the army in the north so that they don't have to link up. And then the only risk there is that if they are aware of what's happening, they might try to stop us, and if they succeed, then the plan fails.
Because of Commander Kafelnikov's role, I'll give you some additional ideas, tactical thoughts. If you land all of you in between, all of you aside from Commander Harkon's regiment, in the middle between Hive Latate and Hive Bastern, you could actually work out separately north and south and stay connected, and then like move down to prepare the anvil while Commander Harkon deals with Hive Bastort. It'd be
Kafelnikov who knows that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of just move the pieces around and be like, okay, now like this is better.
So the pieces are moved. They kind of represent like your four regiments, aside from the Naboom Bangshi regiment, landing in that kind of like little pan of land there by the sea, and then moving north and kind of cutting around the army to get to Hive Latate and kind of encircle it with your forces, and then moving south to also circle Hive Bastern, and then the Sisyphean Guard preparing the anvil while Commander not Rourke, that's you. Commander Harkon, Broadside, taking Bastort and then preparing the hammer.
What do you think? You think you could deal with Bastort?
All I need is a regiment of flamers. That way we can at least purify that area.
Dundi,
Yes.
how do you feel about going up to get the food?
No, I think that's quite important. If we have Bastern and Latette's, what's it called? Not the red?
Latate.
Latette's stores, we still have a much better chance. Although I do worry about Broadside's regiment. Cut off.
No, we'll be fine. We're usually cut off.
What about you, Kafelnikov? Which way would you go?
Either way, really.
I'll be going down to Bastern.
Why isn't the commander of the Line Regiment 2815186 here? We're going to need them.
This time I'm genuinely not there. I left ages ago. You just came up with the plan that I like put down first, and then everyone ignored, and then you started moving it around, and then I was like, well, that seems good enough, and then I left, and I've gone to get a cup of tea.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you should be here. We have an important...
You get stopped by the guards. They're like, who are you? Who goes there?
Coming back in.
Yeah.
With a cup of tea and a saucer. Yes, I'm Commander Guy Smith.
Cadet, this is the wrong room.
Ah, it's here, finally. I'm gonna get up and go to him and say, thank you.
Quite welcome. I'll go and get another one.
Okay, yeah.
You guys realize that's the other commander, right?
What? Where? Where is he? Is he here? Maybe we
I
should
thought that was
try
the
out
guards.
Commander.
He just gives up and just turns around.
Commander Smith, would you like to go past the guards intentionally, like getting past them, as opposed to just walking around? Like, basically sidestepping the whole bullshit of, hey, who the hell are you? Halt, who goes there?
Oh yeah, I'll just walk past them.
Roll me a stealth. So, towards the bottom of the skill list.
Is his stealth just like maxed out?
It's pretty high.
Oh my
Five.
god.
What the fuck? He rolled a fucking
That's a
3.
3! Oh my god.
You have your
Like a fart in the
run.
wind.
Yeah, not. There's no lingering smell even. It's literally just you can go anywhere you want. Like no one
Oh,
notices you.
I've got a cup of tea and
You're
I'm
a
sat
ghost.
back down.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hold on, I want to roll awareness real quick just to see if I fucking even
Nope.
notice him. Nope.
Not even.
No.
I'm surprised, and my awareness is maxed out.
Yeah, your awareness is really good.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Ah,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck it. I want to roll.
Okay.
Might as well. Probably nothing, but still. Nope. definitely.
You got
Blinded
no
by
idea.
Your own perfume, just.
Oh yeah. So it smells so good.
So, Lord Commander Nihilium will clap his hands. Right. This sounds like a good plan? Yes, a good plan.
Yes,
Is-
Lord Commander.
Are all commanders in agreement with
Oh,
this?
no more tea, thank you. Push your cup away.
I'm just like, it's mine.
Yeah, you don't see who it is, you just assume someone's offering you tea.
Nothing.
This looks alright. Hopefully no one dies. Cadet, when you're on the ground. I mean,
What?
well, you're gonna be on the ground, aren't you?
No, of course not. No. Getting rather old for that.
Why would he be on the... Were you?
Come on,
I will
guys,
be.
Smith.
Won't I?
281.
Commander?
Should
5186.
hope so. No tea.
You are all permitted to lead your regiments how you deem fit.
From the front.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I have the flamers?
That is a tall order, we'll have to see.
What do we get? Any I don't know, any stocking of our troop? And any resources at all from you?
Well, I'm sure that will all be sorted out by my administrators. I have to go and see to the disposition of the troops. If you'll excuse me, I think this plan will work perfectly well, and I'll leave you in the capable hands of my officers. And you can see Petty Officer Lonnie standing there with his data slate.
Commander Smith, as if he's a petty officer.
So, I think this is a good moment. You have all the kind of administrative officers and clerks and this kind of thing here with you. This is a perfect time to find out who has what and who, basically this is what can you get for your regiments. So first off, we will go with the troop numbers are good. Supplies is the first thing. So we're talking like spades and sandbags and food and magazines. Sorry, not magazines. Just the kind of general supplies needed to run an army. So if everyone could roll me logistics. This is based off your fellowship. So this is basically what you managed to get for your regiments.
Logistics.
No. It's on the right
it's-
side under trade.
Yeah.
I had to find it. No pluses, right?
No plus.
Roll as is. Oh, holy fuck!
Come on!
Is that everyone? Oh, okay, there we. Hugo.
So I was a bit shocked by that 7.9.
That's the red designates a critical hit. So yeah, Brad
After all
rolled.
of that, do I get the best stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. That's hysterical.
So
They're like all fighting over the things, and I'm just ticking off the stuff on the data pad.
oh yeah. You're
Like, I'll take that.
They
go-
don't even know I'm doing it.
going off that roll and your earlier stealth roll, which I think was a 4. You rolled a 1 and a 4. Jesus. You have an actual requisition form that someone handed to you because they thought you were one of the clerks. So you just
Yeah.
fill it out with everything
I've
you
filled
need.
it out and then
Yeah.
just, I've sent it off before you guys have even seen me do it.
So, I mean, during the campaign, what this basically means is during the campaign, especially at the start of the campaign, the Imperial Line Regiment will have pretty much everything it needs in terms of supplies. Like
You're welcome.
if you get cut, if your units and squads and regiment get cut off, you can survive for like a year off your supplies.
Go on, the boys.
And a good news is that the regiment going in by themselves, the Naboom Banshee regiments under Commander Broadside, they were the second most successful with 6.5. So you will be very well supplied as well.
And my flamers?
That is equipment.
Oh,
So that's next.
okay.
Next up we have the Atlas Sisyphean Regiment. You are decently supplied.
We can make do.
Yes. After that, we have Commander Kafelnikov. You're all right, average supplied, like no better than any standard regiment. It's not good. Like your regiment kind of lives off drugs.
Yeah.
So
And druggies.
when they're low on food, they take more drugs, and they always have drugs.
We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Yeah. So you know.
Just sweat a little bit into a glass container and
Yeah.
Oh,
fine.
So you know, it's not as bad for you to have low supplies. Commander Hugo
40
Dundee.
kilos, but you've got a gram. It's fine.
So
Yeah. What we got, Hugo?
Hugo, I mean, it's your regiment, and you don't know this as commander. Your regiment is probably the best off to have low supplies because they steal from everyone. Their uniform is other regiments' uniforms. Like, because the uniform that Hugo Dundee is in, Commander Hugo Dundee, it's pristine, it's white, it's gold, it's got tassels. They all had that uniform. They instantly sold all of that uniform, like the entire stock of uniform. No, just for like, you know, just for trade, and they like his regiment runs the black market in the army. So
does
they
Dundee know this? He
no,
doesn't know this.
he thinks they're an upstanding Imperial regiment.
A little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
He has no idea. So you should be okay with low supplies, but it will factor in to certain things as the campaign goes on. Second up is going to be equipment. So same role, logistics. I'm actually going to give a +10 to Smith. So just put 10 in your modifiers.
8.5.
Points.
Oof.
Jesus.
Chibi.
Yeah.
7.9 again.
Fucking crap.
Exactly what I got last time.
Didn't roll a 1 this time because you had a
It's not a
+10.
1 this
But
time.
yeah.
You know, I got a 10 and you got an 11. Brad.
Yeah.
That's
Can
crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
take a look at the logistics data sheet and move some numbers around with my administratum?
Roll me administratum. I'm gonna say -10 on this one. That's a crit fail.
Take.
Ah!
So
No gun.
This is the most peachy fucking way it could have gone.
yeah. I love
He's
it.
landing at a farm with no guns. He's gonna have to fight with corn.
Does anyone remember the movie Enemy at the Gates?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
men, one gun, one ammunition. When the man in front of you dies, pick up the gun.
That's what we're doing.
That's what is your regiment for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, with a crit fail, and you were the worst already.
Fuck
Oh,
these real days.
Bye, Dundi. Bye.
First up, there are multiple types of equipment available for you: tanks, aircraft, like fortifications, all extra ammunition, all this type of thing. So Commander Aegis, you rolled 8.5 degrees of success. What would you like? You have your pick.
Well, since I'll be going down to Hive Bastern, I will want some
Artillery, tanks.
Do I get Big Wani?
Nothing quite that big, but you would get like proper defensive orientated tanks and artillery and stuff. Yeah.
I would like defensive orientated tanks. Oriented tanks, and also just like sandbags and everything to really, fortify.
I mean, I think at this point you'll have the supplies and equipment necessary to build basically a defensive wall down the entirety of that area.
So we're building a wall. Okay.
Yeah. Well, a fort.
Gotcha.
Next up with 7.9 degrees of success is Commander Guy Smith. What type of things are you looking for your regiment?
I'm not sure where I am because the Peachy's doing the farm.
Going up north, yeah.
Thingy's doing the other thing. So me and Kafelnikov are just out in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Just hold the line.
I mean, you could go and engage the Orc army to the north, while Hugo heads up to Krater? No. Latate, yeah.
I think it would be better if we held the position that's south of that middle Orc army. You know, the area just below it, basically, because we also want to keep it open between Gorlock.
Yeah.
Between the Quintus and Bastern, right?
So you want to kind of like protect the supply lines and make sure you don't
I
get.
think since I have all the food and I can stay there forever, I'm better off doing a defensive thing as well.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do the second lot of defensive shit.
And your line regiment, their tactics tend towards open pitched battles. So, like you could probably have tanks, aircraft, all that type of support equipment with you while fighting, which will make the defense a lot easier.
Sure, yeah. I just want to hold the line.
Okay.
Whatever allows me to hold the line.
Okay. And your role will make that a lot easier.
Yeah.
Next up is... Who is it?
Defend the supply line.
Oh, it's Commander Broadside.
Yeah. I want flamers.
What does he want? I want
one.
Yeah.
one flamer,
A
dude.
single flamer.
One single flamer, dude.
Well, yeah.
It's disassembled. You have to assemble it yourself.
Seeing as you got a success and no one's, dibsed flamers, you get a flamer in each of your squads.
But no fuel.
There's fuel.
So
They are now bludgeoning weapons.
And seeing as Commander Hugo Dundi has already had his equipment sorted out.
Can I try and talk my way around to at least giving my men a las rifle each with my bureaucracy?
You crit failed, dude. Like,
You get maybe a knife.
I
and it's
mean,
rusty at best.
They at least need a lance rifle.
You rolled. Like, okay, what I'll say is, in these early stages of the war, and also keep in mind, your guys, as I said, are thieves. It is perfectly valid for the players playing in the campaign to be like, Sheepy, can we steal shit? And I'll be like, fuck yeah, go for it.
Well, they better.
Yeah, guys, if you're in the Imperial Guard, just steal stuff, because seriously, you guys are fucked.
Yeah.
You got the minute you got Peachy as your commander. Like...
Yeah. Commander Kafelnikov, you're the last one to claim equipment and...
Yep. It was a really, really good roll, obviously.
Yeah. Mine's... Yeah.
It's okay. It is what it is. Whatever's left over, pretty much.
I mean, honestly, your regiment is a close combat regiment, which is very bizarre for Imperial Guard.
Right.
And no one really claims melee weapons, so you could at least see that they're outfitted with drugs and melee weapons. If you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, that's standard stuff.
Wait, are you Cardiff?
Max.
Uh,
Cardiff on a Saturday night.
it's I'd say more Glasgow, but
They sound like they have more tact than people from Glasgow. Let's be honest. People from Glasgow are literally feral. Some tactics going on over here in Kalashnikov's regiment.
and
You like Kalashnikov?
Feral.
Kalashnikov. That's it.
Fuck. It's like Kafelnikovs without the drugs.
Yeah.
And then they're like coming off of it. You know, they're deprived.
Yeah.
Finally, would anyone like specialists? And when I say specialist, I'm talking like anti-tank. I'm talking about things that are separate from your regiment. So, for example, the line regiment are a line regiment. They have the ability to build trenches, but not fortifications. So, if you wanted fortifications, you'd need like engineers or something like that. The Atlas Sisyphean regiment are purely defensive. If you want offensive capabilities, you'll need like heavy weapons teams, but like assault teams and that type of thing.
I would like logistic trucks to move all this food.
That you... Oh, right, yeah.
For specialist stuff.
Would
Food that you're going to take, not the food that you earn.
Yeah, the food
yeah,
that we're gonna...
yeah, sorry, I was like, you don't have much food, man.
Yes, you
Going to
have
the
one
farm.
jeep, and that is all your food in there.
I'd like a logistics company for all this food and equipment I have on me.
One Transformers lunchbox.
Between 150,000 men.
Yeah.
How badly you roll.
Fucking ration, like.
So, yeah, if any of you would like to get something specialist outside of your regiment, you can make a roll, logistics, and let me know.
Can I beg, borrow, and steal for this?
Yeah, I'll take some.
Holy crap.
Specialist as in like maybe a few people that are exceptionally skilled at assassination type movements.
Absolutely, if you like, yeah.
Okay.
I would like an assault team.
Yeah.
How are you guys rolling this?
They have better skills than you in this
Oh
instance.
hey, 4.5 degrees this time.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who is Imperial Guard and who the player is for the first game or whatever, but I apologize, but I was for sure sat here this entire time being like, yeah, I need commandos, I need this, I need defensive structures, I need mortars, but no one heard me, and that's why I'm not going to roll.
Oh boy.
Can I try and beg, borrow, and steal some supply trucks with my bureaucracy and not?
I mean, you could.
I might feel bad for Dundi and give him like one truck from my group.
One truck.
One truck. Like, I'd be like,
That's not gonna cut it.
You know what? It's better than a kick in the knackers, right? So.
So can I do that, or do I have to roll my logistics?
I'll allow it.
Yes. Okay, come on, me. I got a success.
You got a success, buddy.
I got a success.
You did something. So you want supply trucks
So, yeah.
with supplies in them, or like a logistic
to carry
network?
the food
Yeah.
from the. I mean, I ain't got any food. I'm accepting that.
But-
Maybe, you know, a forge will train. We can just drop down and bring all the food down to them.
No, I mean, this is the thing: is if you have a logistics network, then once the supplies start coming down to your kind of to your HQs, if your guys steal that shit, they can get it away faster, and it's going to be easier to steal it. So, in terms of like guns, it'll be easier for them to steal a whole crate of guns, and then, you know, they disappeared. Who knows? It's war. It's crazy.
Well, it is crazy.
So
does 3.4 get me a logistics network?
Yeah. You're good there.
You're
Okay,
welcome,
so-
players. You're welcome.
The Imperial Pegasus
I
Guard.
got a success. It's the first one.
I am
Have a-
so excited to see who's gonna be playing under my regiment. I'll
Yeah.
take care of you guys.
Well, I can let you know that the first squad going down for the D-Day landings is what I'm calling them. Is the Mage Crew for Enter Elysium's channel. So it's going to be Enter Elysium, Gaming FTL, Bentham, Mangled Pork, Fuzzy Freaks, and Brick.
Do they know the regiment they're doing yet?
They wanted to wait to see what you guys did.
Oh, right. So it's gonna be Brad's regiment.
Probably, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome, whoever wins.
I
Imperial Guard.
I do know that Enter Elysium and Bentham wanted to Groot and Rocket Raccoon with an Ogrin and Ratling.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
So let's go over the rest of you very quickly, and then we'll be good to finish the session. First up is most definitely the Atlas Sophian Regiment, Commander Aegis. You wanted assault teams.
I want assault teams.
So kind of like grenadiers type thing.
I just want something to be able to support the pincer movement between. Ow! Cats.
Between cats?
Between the cat.
Oh,
Orcs and-
I've never heard of this maneuver. Please.
how
Terrifying. They scratch your eyeballs out.
how about to combine with your equipment? How about I can't remember what the flamed hellhounds. So hellhound APCs, basically APCs with giant flamethrowers on them, and heavy weapon teams with plasma cannons.
Yes.
Okay.
I would love that.
So that's
I would
what.
love that.
So, hellhound tanks with plasma cannons, and Sheepy's got to remember that the tanks don't have plasma cannons. The squads have plasma cannons.
Also, as Aegis, I am very fond of more melee troops and
Yeah.
such. So, so long as there's a good supply of them, I will be happy.
Yeah, you'll have decent access to melee weapons.
Good.
Although your guys tend to use like static defenses, machine gun, kind of like bolters and auto cannons and stuff like that. But at the very least, they'll all have a melee weapon for if the enemy, get past your defenses.
Yeah.
Heavy
Look,
squads
I got flamethrowers.
Yeah, you did. Well, you got flamethrower tanks, but those won't be useful to Commander Broadside because he's going into a wrecked city with a giant asteroid on top. Which, can I just say, whoever's gonna choose to be in his regiment, you're gonna die. Just out
like
of
a guardsman should.
out of character there.
Sorry, like.
No, your guys are fine. So nothing for the Imperial Line Regiment because you didn't get noticed when you were requisitioning stuff. Breath of the Emperor. Is there anything you wanted? Assassins? That's right. Wow, Sheepy can't spell assassins.
Two
kind
asses.
of
To be fair,
assassin
that is a
wanted
tricky
asses.
one.
Yeah, 2 asses and assassins.
That's it.
So, I'll ask McLoken now, I guess. Just see what he wants in terms of specialists, because I can't remember what he requested.
He didn't put his earbuds in until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commander Broadside, what specialists were you requiring?
I was thinking I would do stuff to get more like fortification, especially something with like turrets.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
walls and turrets and stuff.
Yeah, your guys will have breach charges because of the regiment they are is based around explosives and that kind of thing. So, so kind of like static defenses,
Yeah.
like machine gun nest type things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically making it where we can like hunker down, and then like if they get pushed back into us at Work Regiment, we have snipers and we have people with melta guns, and we'll have those machine gun nests.
So
Kind of mow them down.
yeah, basically like defenses and ambushy, like basically urban warfare kind
Yeah.
of stuff there. Okay, yeah. For urban
Tunnel system.
warfare, you'd have to roll better.
Ah.
Yeah, like you can have like engineers to do like a tunnel system, or the defenses for urban warfare.
I'm gonna do defenses.
Okay, yeah.
Because that makes more sense, and it will help the pincer maneuver. Tunnels will help my people out, but in the long run, it probably wouldn't help the maneuver out.
Yeah, it depends what you find there, honestly, because Hive Bastor is a little bit of a mystery. They haven't had much reports from there.
Yeah, I also am very curious about the other Hive City.
Krata?
Krata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, like from the general roles you guys have done for like war and everything like that, that is heavily surrounded and would be a terrible place to land.
Yeah, that's where
Just-
my people need to go.
You're going to Bastort, okay?
I know.
We made
but
this decision.
we're going to Bastort, but after we secure Bastort and all that, my people are just like get dropped behind enemy lines, and they fucking love it.
So to give you guys and everyone watching a basic idea of all the regiments, so that you can decide to be in the line regiment, because they're the only ones who are like properly prepared for this shit. The Imperial Line Regiment is a line regiment. It is basic troops, well trained, well disciplined. Their commander is an expert in all types. Their commander, Guy Smith, is an expert in all forms of stealth and infiltration, just purely because people don't notice him. The Sisyphean Guard are defenders. They are the rock that cannot be moved, basically. And they tend to establish beachheads. In war, they tend to establish beachheads and just hold them against everything. And they're probably the most experienced in general. They've been around for a while. Commander Aegis has been leading them for about 20 years and never really lost any significant engagements. Never been forced to retreat. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah.
You're in good hands. Don't fail me.
The Naboon Bangshi Regiment are a mix of skirmishers and urban combat specialists. They like to set traps, they like to explode traps. They are twitchy as all fuck because their planet literally explodes all over all the time. Like, it's like living in London. And the Breath of the Emperor, close combat specialists, they inject drugs, they inhale drugs, they charge in and attack people with guns that fire drugs. Like, they've got these pistols that fire drugs. And any melee weapon they can lay their hands on.
It's like living in London.
It's like living in London.
What?
Jesus, you guys.
The Imperial Guard were actually supposed to be heavy infantry. They're not. They are, they're guerrilla fighters, honestly. They're not even skirmishers, they're just guerrilla fighters. They go out into mountains, they set booby traps, they destroy supply lines, they fuck up whatever they can. Their commander is not aware of this, so that's going to be interesting, because he's met them, and he's like, they're very nice chaps, diamonds in the rough, while at the same time...
A bit of polishing, yeah?
Yes. While at the same time, they're like, running the black market, stealing off everyone, trying their best not to get shot, and, yeah, skiving off and all that type of thing, so... However, that's going to bring a close to the session. Thank you, all 5 of you, for putting up through this and yeah, and basically crafting the future of the campaign. If it goes badly, it's all of these people's fault.
It's all our fault.
Mostly Peachy's.
No, we're just setting you up with a good narrative, alright?
Like, I like to think that if anyone plays my regiment, they're playing hard mode.
Yeah.
I am just fuck it.
I was...
can't wait to see who's in my regiment. I am going to be following you guys in your little journey. Like, this is gonna be great.
I'm really interested to see how this pans out for them, this plan that we made, because they're gonna be launched in. Whoever is doing the McCloken gang is dead.
Yeah, I was...
But this is exactly like Guardsmen are. Like the
Yeah,
commanders
it is.
Go, you do this, and you just do that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I was so surprised one of you decided to go down to Bastard. It's actually... It's not a terrible plan. Yeah.
Weirdly, the plan seems to make kind of sense.
It does,
worked.
yeah.
If it doesn't, it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
I mean, if you get Latate and you get Bastern, you have food and ammunition. Eventually, you will start to run out of equipment, but that's not going to be for a while. So food and ammunition is the 2 most important things, which is why I put them so far apart. However, yeah, if this goes well, if the players do well, and if the kind of campaign rolls go well, you guys could really do a lot of damage to the orcs early on, which will help you out. So yes, thank you everyone for coming and agreeing to do this little side story. I wanted to make something that influenced the campaign ridiculously heavy for just a little bit of fun for all of us. I think it's interesting.
Destroying your lives.
It's a super great idea.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, if any of you watching want to join one of their regiments, links will be in the description to their channels and all that kind of thing. Please feel free to go and say you're signing up with their regiment. That would be awesome. I would like to get... It would be interesting to have a commander show. Like, just one where you all go in together for, like, a finale or some shit. Like, you know, way down the line.
When they all fail.
Yeah.
Like,
you
pop down and be like, alright,
you
bitches.
go in. Alright.
But we are going to have future commander shows. Every now and then, maybe every couple of months or so, we'll have another commander show, look at the you know, how things have progressed, you know, how the war is going, and adjust tactics, and maybe talk about, you know, supply problems and discipline problems. If like, for example, if a player gets arrested for cowardice or something, you guys will decide whether they live or die.
He dies. Cowardice?
Oh, my people die.
Yeah.
Cowardice will die.
I mean,
Imperial, come on.
but like, okay, if someone gets arrested for stealing or whatever, you know, like,
No, that shit gets mixed up all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it in my regiment so much. Like, you know, they just accidentally have 50 plasma grenades. What?
Look, numbers get mixed up sometimes. I've seen it.
Sometimes a 5 can be a 50.
I
5
did.
9s, 59s.
I did say this before we started recording the session, but if any of you commanders would like to do a solo scene for the next Commander Warham show, of combat and this kind of thing. Let me know. We'll set up like a quick 10 to 20 minute scene where you can just be a badass commander, like be fighting on the front lines, join in with your troops, that kind of thing. And I'll add it to the next War Room.
Can you film like 10 minutes of you just sat there and this just empty?
Yeah, I'll do it. Screw it, I'll do it.
That's my contribution, because my character is there, but you just don't know.
You're-
Clickbait the fuck out of it.
Just trying to figure out where the hell he is. Like,
I'll just record this.
Yeah,
for 10
yeah.
minutes, light changes and stuff, and then I'll send it to you.
Your character is so forgettable. The story forgot to follow him, so he's off doing something, and the story's just sitting there like.
And the video's unlisted, so
Yeah.
you've got to really find it.
The lost tapes of Commander Guy Smith. Fuck it, dude. I'll do it. I'm down.
When are they going to do the first show? Or
This Thursday.
Oh, Thursday?
Yeah.
So that is, for anyone who's watching after this goes up, that's the 9th.
9th.
May 9th.
Yeah.
What time?
19.
7 p.m. UK, so I think that's
Or 1
2
p.m.? Okay.
2 p.m. EST or 1 p.m. EST. Yeah.
1 p.m. CST.
Yeah.
2 p.m. EST.
And yeah, so the way this show is going to work, for those of you who don't know already, the cast come in to guest for 2 episodes, so 2 Thursdays, and then we switch out and do entirely new people. The example I like to use is you could capture a bunker, and then in the next episode, Peachy is defending the bunker and loses it. You know, that's how this campaign is going. So it's an ongoing campaign with switching players and squads and regiments, and it's going to be like a whole long thing. Does anyone have anything they'd like to shout out at the end, or?
You got any more tea?
I would just like,
I've already left.
say
We do.
that,
We all do tabletop roleplay stuffs.
Yeah.
And in general, hanging out. So.
There'll be links in
Vandi
descriptions.
streams on a Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah,
Vandi streams on Saturday.
Streams on
Watch
Saturday.
Vandi streams on Saturdays. Every Saturday, without fail.
Without fail.
Never a cancellation.
He never misses it.
OMG
Never.
Vandi.
OMG Vandi.
Um, but no, everyone's channels, I think, you know what, I'll put everyone's channels and everyone's Twitters in the description. Go and at people if you're joining their regiments, because I'm interested to know who's joining who.
Ain't nobody
I want to know. I
I'm
want to
turning
know.
Twitter off.
Yeah.
No, I want to know. I want to see who I want to know who they are, and I want descriptions of everyone so I could like sketch them out.
Yeah.
I will RP whoever @s me.
Yo,
Your character on Twitter.
custom like one-on-one like what is it? Commander to
Private.
not employee, soldier,
Cadet.
I guess.
Soldier.
Mhm.
Go pick up that.
I also will
Yeah.
do that by not responding to you. So
Yeah.
Remember,
I mean,
it's RP.
I mean,
Pretty accurate.
maybe I just won't put your Twitter in because they can't find you.
Yes.
I'll do it.
No, so Brad's just gonna
Oh my
be
God.
sending out random tweets and no one's gonna read it.
Everyone just accidentally has him muted. Like,
Yeah.
Accidentally, I
man.
think
no, it's definitely on purpose.
so.
Please don't send me
Um,
stuff about drugs into my inbox. Thank you very much.
Just various Wikipedia pages of different drugs.
Please,
Yeah.
please don't do that.
Flagged by the
And don't be like, hey, boss, can I get some more drugs? Please don't do that either.
Yeah, that would look bad. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you on Thursday. It's gonna be interesting. Bye.
Chat.
Have fun.
Bye.
Hey there guys, and thank you for watching the War Room video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just adding a little bit of extra here for people who are going to be either playing in the campaign or are interested in the slightly more minutiae of what's going on. You can see over here. There you go. You can see over here there is a tactical map. It's not an amazing map. I know. I've said multiple times. It's not one of my strong points. I've done what I can. Maybe if I get the chance, I'll ask someone to pull up to do like a proper professional looking map, like really good. Hopefully in the future. So you can see from this tactical map the basics of what's going on here. I have all of the different regiments doing their kind of where they're going to be, where they're going to be going for the immediate tactical future. So also you can see in all of the panels there are images of each of the regiments. I haven't put their names in, but from top left to bottom right, kind of going round that way. Yeah, so it'd be like from here to here. Sorry, reverse mirror stuff, confusing me. You have the At-Last Sisyphean Regiment, led by Commander Rourke. You have the Breath of the Emperor, led by Commander Kafelnikov. Kalashnikov. There you go. You have the Imperial Guard, led by Hugo Dundi, Commander Hugo Dundi. You have the Naboom Banshee Regiment, led by Commander Broadside. And you have the Imperial Guard Regiment, number 25801528, I believe is the number. I might be a little bit off on that one. Led by Commander Guy Smith. As you can see, they're all there on the map. However, one thing I will tell you is that the Imperial Line Regiment and the At-Last Sisyphean Regiment will be the initial invaders landing at landing site Alpha. Then later on, the Imperial Guard will land once a beachhead is established and start moving up north. And the sorry, it's not the At-Last Sisyphean Regiment. It's the Breath of the Emperor and the Imperial Guard Pegasi Regiment. They're both landing. They're taking part in the initial landings, and they're going to be pushing out after the beachhead is established. The Imperial Guard are going to land once a beachhead is established, so they can start moving north towards Hive Latate to get that food going. And then the At-Last Sisyphean Regiment is going to land also, start moving to Hive Bastern, and going to try and set up the anvil to be hit by the hammer, which is the Naboom Banshee Regiment, who their commander decided to land at Hive Bastort. So I guess we'll see how that goes. That is landing site Bravo. They're going to be landing by themselves. They're going to be going after the Hive by themselves. I think I'll have a little bit of an extra chat with McLokin, with Commander Harkon Broadside, and ask him exactly what he wants the tactics to be on this one. I'm going to suggest to him and also assume that he wants to go straight into Hive Bastort and kind of use it defensively to begin with to see what the Orc response is before moving. So yeah, they're in a lot of trouble down there, and I'm very interested to see if anyone is willing to go on that. The supplies are decent for the most part, so even people with bad supplies aren't horribly supplied. The equipment, slightly different. I think on rewatching the video, what's happened is the Imperial Pegasi Guard did actually have equipment, but they sold it all. So they don't have many weapons and things like that. They're going to have to find or steal or beg, borrow, buy weapons and supplies to a certain extent. So anyway, yeah. If you're interested in playing as a viewer, if you're interested in playing in this campaign, you can either contribute to me to the campaign. There'll be a link in the description. It's $20 for 2 games, for a set of 2 games. And if you want to sign up as a group, you can also do that. Don't forget to put your username in there as well. My Patreons, my kind of longer standing Patreons, have the ability to be in games automatically. It's just a little reward tier, I guess, for the Patreons. But if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, if you like this, if you want to support it, again, link will be in description. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It has already taken up a lot of my time, but it's really, I really like it. So we'll see how it goes. As I previously said at the outro of the session, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday.